757-622-4600. We'll see you there. I joy in my soul. God is in control. Where I am now, better than before. Through those open doors, where I am now. Where I am now, I'm in a special place. I'm in a place where I am now. It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Everette, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, where I am now. Where I am now. And if you'd like to see us live in WGPL 1350 studio, WMVA 88.9 FM studio, all you have to do is go to Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, and guess what? You can see me live, see us live right here in the studio. Sometimes on this journey, things will come to see. And if you want to hear us all over the globe, all you have to do is go to 1400 AM, 1350 AM, click and listen live. Don't forget you can hear us on all social media platforms. That's right, on all social media platforms, on YouTube as well. And now I'll be introducing our special guest who is on vacation at the time, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, who is the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. And yes, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, is on vacation. And guess who's in control? That's Emmy, that's me. So when you see Miss Hinton, you make sure you let her know that I am the big boss with the hot sauce. Yeah, I'm the big boss with the hot sauce. You let her know that I'm the big boss with the hot sauce, and guess what? And we'll go from there. I want to thank our sponsors, which is Beer God Academy, Buvik Academy. I want to thank Buvik Academy for all that they have done for FYI Radio Show, and also Beer Gods. Make sure you go by Beer Gods, and guess what? And get that great product for Beer God. We got a special segment for you today. It's What's Under the Hat Summer Fun. Normally would be What's Under the Hat Issues Concerning Men. So today we changed it around and we called it What's Under the Hat Issues. What's Under the Hat Issues concerning men. Our Fun Friday segment. So we that's what we got going on today. I'm waiting for my guest to give me a call. Good morning, and good morning. Can you hear me, Jim? Hello, Jim? Hello? Jim, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? I'm waiting for our special guest to give me a call. Yes, we got a special guest that's giving us a call. They're from AAA Pool Service. That's right, AAA Pool Service, and they're going to be giving us a call. Stand by. Jim, are you there? Stand by. All righty. We got our special guest, Mr. Jim and Leslie from AAA Pool Service. I want to say a pleasant good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Pastor Ed. Is Yolanda with you too?
No, she's on vacation.
Oh,
Isn't it nice? Isn't it nice that to go on vacation and you got to work?
yeah, we we were going to ask about her grandson because last time we chatted, he was just getting into swimming.
Yeah. I think he's an expert by now, but I'll make sure I let her know that you asked about her grandson. Tell our listening audience, Jim, about AAA Pool Service.
Sure. AAA Pool Services is a local commercial pool management and renovation company. We've been around here since 1989. And now that we're in the middle of summer, what we're doing is we have about 200 lifeguards that we have employed through about 40 to 50 pools throughout the Tidewater area.
Wow, 200 lifeguard. And who's that special lady that you got with you today?
I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Leslie Paul. I'm Director of Staffing here at AAA and also the founder of the Really Awesome People Swimming Program.
Really Awesome People Swimming Program. Tell us a little bit about that.
So it's a nonprofit swim lesson program that I started 15 years ago because I read about the high rates of drowning among minorities, and I knew I could do something about that. We will be graduating our 3,000th swimmer this summer.
Wow. Now tell and are you available? Are pool safety lifeguards? And when is the new class starts?
For the RAPS program,
Yes.
so we begin next Monday. We have 4 weeks scheduled. We do have openings. The classes are in Virginia Beach, and the classes run from 9 to 10:30 each morning for 5 days.
Wow, that's wonderful. Can you think you can teach me how to swim?
I could.
Okay.
In fact, this year we have more adults signed up than we have in the past.
Wow, that sounds wonderful. Jim, tell us how to keep pools safe. What are some of the things that we need to do in order to keep our swimming pools and swimming areas safe?
It's like we talked about last time, that the most important thing is to teach kids how to swim starting at a very early age. The Tidewater area of Hampton Roads have a lot of bodies of water in addition to pools around us. We have lots of lakes, of course the bay, of course the ocean. All are different swimming environments. And so rather than try to teach children how to be safe at each individual location, the best thing is to start them in a swim program early and teach them the basic safety practices that they can use across all bodies of water.
Wow. So some of the things is to learn how to swim, right?
That is the best thing to do.
Give us some tips, Leslie. Give us some tips on how to keep for pool safety for children.
So the number one pool safety tip is to keep your eyes on your children and not your phone.
Wow.
So many parents get engrossed in the phone, but always swim where there is a lifeguard. The lifeguard is not a babysitter, but because they have everybody in the pool that they have to watch. But parents need to keep an eye on their children. And if they put them into a flotation device such as a life jacket or a puddle jumper or water wings, they need to stay within arm's reach of them at all times.
Okay, you stay with arm reaches with them at all times. You said, and you said something that was so profound. Stay off your phone.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think that people spend a lot of time on their cell phones instead of watching for safety precautions? Yeah.
I do. I've seen it at pools. I've seen it at the beach. It happens everywhere. I think parents get overconfident that the lifeguard is just watching their child and they can do whatever they want. But your child needs to be watched by the parent or guardian as well. The more eyes on that child, the better.
Wow, thank you. What are some of the safety tips for adults?
After I'd like to just expand on that last question, just to add one thing.
Okay.
A lot of the drownings around here of children happen in unattended pools. And so if you are a pool owner in your backyard, you must make sure that that pool is secured in a way that a unattended child cannot gain access to that. Whether
Okay.
that is through fencing, through self-closing, self-latching gates, pool alarms, pool cameras, anything along those lines would help prevent a large percentage of the children deaths around here from drowning.
Wow. What are statistics of?
And, and,
Uh,
and I'm going to ping off of that a little bit. Part of teaching the child to be safe in the water is when they are jumping in, when they're learning how to jump in, or teach them cue words that they are not allowed to jump in before they say ready, set, go, or 1, 2, 3.
mhm.
And that way, if you do have your own pool in the backyard and they have gotten out close to the edge, if you hear them saying those cue words, you know that you need to run quickly because they're going in.
Now, also, I was told that no running around the pool. And make sure that there is always somebody somewhere that's don't let them swim alone. Now, there was a thing that was told that don't go in the water after eating. Why is that so important?
Well, even an experienced swimmer should not go swimming alone. There's a myriad of things that can happen, and if you are in the water with nobody watching you, then that can turn into a bad situation very quickly.
Mm. We hear so much now about. Oh, go ahead.
Especially if you could experience a heart attack, a stroke, a sudden illness. You just never know what could happen.
Wow.
That's not to swim by yourself.
Wow. We hear so much on TV about sharks and about riptides. How do one know what to do when they're caught up in a shark situation, a situation, or a riptide?
Well, Pastor Ed, my brother is basically a marine biologist, and he tells me that there is a 100% surefire way to know if there is a shark around.
Hmm.
And what you should do is taste a little bit of the water, and if it's salty, there is a shark nearby.
Say that again.
If the water is salty, there's a shark nearby.
Mm.
If you are swimming in the bay or the ocean, there is one near. Now, 99% of sharks have no interest in humans. So it's nothing to actively worry about unless you hear of a locale alert that there is a possibility of feeding activity. Sharks are generally most active feeding in the early morning and late evening hours. So those are two good times to not go swimming by yourself, and be conscious of how you are swimming. Don't make yourself look like a seal, which is one of their favorite foods. People who are swimming on a surfboard need to be particularly careful about that.
Mm.
As far as riptides, that is what happens around here at the beach with our waves, and you have a lot of water momentum coming in onto the beach, and all that water has to get back out. And there are places around here, either due to sandbars or the natural terrain of the beach, where that water gets funneled into a very small section to run back out. So that water going back out in the ocean can be moving very, very fast with a lot of momentum. And if you are in that rip current, that will take you directly out to sea. Even the best swimmer cannot swim directly back to shore amidst the rip current.
Hmm.
The way to get out of that is to swim parallel to the shore, because the rip current is generally going to be not that wide at all, and you can easily swim parallel to the shore and get out of the current and then head back to the shore.
Hmm. That's what a lot of people were saying, that you can get in and get out, but just in case they panic, it's hard for them to swim parallel to the shore. What about non-swimmers that get caught out there? How far do a person has to be from the beach in order to get caught in a riptide?
There was just an incident less than 10 days ago down in Florida. There were two parents down there. They were up to their knees. The water was so strong coming back into the ocean from the wave action that it swept them both out to sea. And they got caught in the rip current, and both of the parents drowned.
Wow.
So the, that current is strong. So especially if you're at the beach, if you see the flags flying, the green flags mean that everything is all right, that water conditions are safe for swimming. Yellow means to use caution, that there could be rip currents. And then the red flags mean absolutely, just like a stoplight. You should not be going forward in that water. You should not even be getting in.
You know, sometimes you hear about bacteria in the water. How often, as big as the ocean is, how often does bacteria gets into the water?
It depends on the location of the beach. Around in this area, the bacteria generally comes from after heavy rain when there's a lot of water runoff and if possibly sewage overload. And when that type of overflow enters into the storm drain, where the storm drains enter into the bay or the ocean, there is a possibility of high bacterial count where the health department will recommend no swimming or closing that beach. Each one of the health departments around here does daily water samples where they will go out and test the water for certain types of bacteria or microbes to determine whether it's swimming or not.
Hmm. Wow. Wow, I'm learning a lot about the water now. Because one time or another, I did not know how do they test for bacteria, and how can a big old ocean be loaded with bacteria. Jim, and you said earlier that you have some lifeguards that you have trained. How many lifeguards are there on, let's say, Virginia Beach, that you have released out there to that's qualified to train to protect people?
Well, Leslie and I have been doing this for what, 35 years now? Yeah, probably 35 years. So, we've put at least 6,000 lifeguards out there into the general community over those past 3 decades. And one of our popular sayings is that once you're a lifeguard, you're always a lifeguard.
Okay.
And so even kids and people like that haven't been a lifeguard in years and years, you're still just naturally trained to watch that water.
Okay. Now, there's a lot of folks that might not go to the beach, but have their own personal swimming pools in the back. What should the water temperature be with the pools, that's backyard swimming pools?
Around here, the water temperature is completely governed by how sunny it is.
Okay. Okay.
So, if it's comfortable to get in, then you're fine. If you are a resident that has a hot tub or a spa, that water should not be more than 104 degrees.
Okay. Okay. How often should a pool be cleaned?
Again, well, that is somewhat a matter of personal preference as to how many leaves you are willing to swim around. Rather than a pool being clean, the most important thing is to make sure that the water temperature is correct, that
Okay.
you have the proper chlorine levels, that you have the proper pH levels, because that's what's going to keep the water safe from becoming disease transmitting and the possibility of spreading recreational water diseases.
Well, after you turn loose all the swimmers, Leslie, do you recommend that they be certified as in life preserving and Cross saving lives
You have to
to
be a
use
pretty
the to
strong
you?
swimmer. You can't just take a set of swim lessons and then expect to go to lifeguard training. To be a lifeguard, just to get into a class, they have to, there's a pre-test and they have to swim right now. It is 300 yards using breaststroke or front crawl, also known as freestyle, with rhythmic breathing. You have to be able to tread water for 2 minutes without using your hands. And then there is a timed brick swim where you start at the shallow end, you swim down to the deep end, retrieve a 10-pound brick off the bottom of the pool, and swim back to the starting point using just your legs. Both hands have to be kept on the brick and the face has to stay above water.
And Pastor Ed, that's the part of the lifeguard class that gets me every time I try to recertify. There's not too much to me, and if I'm trying to swim with a 10-pound brick on me, I become more of an anchor than a swimmer.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can believe that. So, I would love to try that. I can swim, but as far as picking up a 10-pound brick and trying to retrieve it and bring it back across, that's one of the hardest things. I figured that I'll give out a gas also. Give our listening audience some great information tips, or some information how they can contact AAA service.
Yeah, and before I go into that contact information, one of the things that I will say is irregardless of your swimming ability, everybody can learn CPR.
Okay, okay.
You never know where you might be when somebody has a cardiac arrest from whatever type of incident, and anybody can take a CPR class through the Red Cross or through one of the local rec centers and be prepared to assist in some type of life-threatening situation.
Well, that sounds wonderful because I'm CPR. I have CPR training. Now, what equipment need to be by the pool, or should parents take out there to the ocean when they're out there swimming?
It's your eyes.
Okay.
You need to be aware of what's going on, and you need to be aware of if you are responsible for minor non-swimmers, then you need to keep your eyes on them. If you have non-swimming children with you, you absolutely should and must only swim where there is a lifeguard.
Okay. Sometimes
those lifeguards will have life-saving equipment such as pocket masks and AEDs with them.
Okay. Do you recommend AED and pocket masks be around the family swimming pools?
They should only be around swimming pools if somebody is trained in how to use them.
Okay. So in other words, in order for them to be trained, they have to take a CPR class at the Red Cross. Am I right?
A lifeguard class and or a CPR class will teach you how to use those tools.
Okay. I think about
American Heart also offers those classes.
Okay. I often think about how the children are out there at the edge of the sand in the swimming pool, just floating and floating with these flotation devices, and sometimes the water can pull them deep and deep out there farther into the water. Do you contact a lifeguard, or do you, when they get too far out there, are the lifeguard observing them?
As far as for the flotation devices, the first thing you need to make sure is that they are USCG approved, U.S. Coast Guard approved.
And not no dollar store life preservers.
And not no dollar store life preserver, yep. And that even if you are in a USCG approved flotation device, that you are, that an adult is within arm's reach of that person or child, so that they can respond quickly if a situation like you described begins to happen.
Okay, okay. Do you recommend alcohol beverages? You know, sometimes folks eating hot dogs, drinking a little brewskis every now and then. Uh, do you recommend our listening audience, some of our listening audience, not to go into that water after when they are drinking?
That is a matter of personal discretion.
Okay,
Obviously, if you are heavily intoxicated, then you should not be operating heavy equipment, cars, and or swimming. In this world and at this time, it is unreasonable to think that there are responsible adults who are not going to have a adult beverage while they're enjoying their time near the water. It's just important to know your limits, drink within those limits, and know when you're over and stop.
okay. Okay. Now tell us about AAA. What gave us a little bit of information of all AAA service does. Tell us a little bit more about AAA services.
So again, our focus is on the renovation of in-ground concrete pools and the management of commercial swimming pools in this area. Um, our most important year-round activity is recruiting and training and hiring certified lifeguards. And so if that is something that any of our listeners might be interested in, you can contact AAA Pool Services through our phone at 757-499-5852, or you can email us at aaaalifeguards@gmail.com. And you can also check out our webpage at www.aaapoolservices.com.
Wow. Tell us, our listening audience, what are some of the ages that that you train, Leslie, when you training for life service and teaching them how to swim?
All right, so anybody can learn how to swim, but with the lifeguard candidates must be a minimum of 15 years old in order to take the class. That is Red Cross standard.
Okay, I had a listening audience, and I want to tell our listening audience, no, that I had someone to text me about AAA life service. They want to, is this the same AAA that lock up cars? I want to let them know you don't have anything to do with auto. Am I right?
So every now and then we'll get a random phone call of somebody needing assistance with their vehicle, and we are not very good at that. So yeah, those are two different AAA.
Now, if they want to, Leslie, if they want to get in contact with you as far as learning how to swim, what is some of the information? What's the telephone number that they may call?
So they can call my cell phone number. That number is 757-574-9523. Or we have a web page. It is ratsswim.org, and you can get information on how to get in touch with me there. We also have a Facebook page, really awesome people swimming, and you can get in touch with, you can private message me through that.
Wow, that's a great
And the
information.
lessons, you have to be at least 5 years old and have gone through kindergarten
Okay,
to be
okay.
in the program.
Well, now if I come there, you're not gonna put me on Facebook and show everybody that how good of a swimmer I am, are you?
I would not do that.
I,
But I will.
Thank you so much, Jim. I know how you do. Just before we let you go, Jim and Leslie, I probably messed her name up. She's just being so kind. Just before we let you go, give them that great information again on how they can contact you and your services.
Okay. I'm gonna so for AAA Pool Services, again, it's 757-499-5852. Our email is aaaalifeguards www.aaapoolservices@gmail.com. And our webpage is www.aaapoolservices.com. And I'm going to let Leslie give you again the contact information for the RAP program.
Okay.
All right. The best way to do that is through email, which is RAPS, RAPS, SWIM @verizon.net.
Okay. I want to say thank you all so much for joining us, AAA. Thank you so very, very much for being our special guest and to teaching us about pool safety. Don't forget to have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day here.
You do
You
the same,
too.
Pastor.
Happy 4th of July.
And we'll look forward to seeing you in the swimming pool.
Sounds wonderful. Okay. Bye now.
I hope to talk to you soon.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. And for more information, you can give us a call at 757-714-7861, or you can email us at FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on WGPL 1350, WMVA 88.9 Peace, 95.3 FM, and WPCE 1400, and on all social media platforms. If you'd like to be a sponsor or you'd like to be an audience of FYI, give us a call at 757-714-7861 and have a wonderful, wonderful 4th of July. And I want to say thank y'all so much. If you'd like to be a special guest or sponsor of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, that's FYI Radio Show. And our special guest has been Jim and Leslie from AAA Pool Service Company. That's right, AAA Pool Service. If you want more information on how to keep your pool safe, you want information on how to learn how to swim, that'll be the better place to go and get into that program called RAP. Okay? Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 right here on WPCE 1400, WGPL 1350. And if you see Miss Hinton out there somewhere on vacation, make sure you let her know you heard her on FYI Radio Show. Okay? Don't forget to have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. Got to get out of here. Thank you, Miss Jessica Baker, for joining us, and a host of others for joining us on FYI Radio Show. Have a wonderful day, okay? Enjoy the weekend, and don't forget to be safe. Bye now. 2 up, 2 down, VA.